guys. How are we today? Is everybody doing okay? Well, you made it just in time, Debbie. It's so good to see you. I, um, I'm trying to get in on my phone so that I can see the chat. I've also got the pop-up chat on the side, but I'm having a few issues, of course. And my earphones, earphones, are they called earbuds? Earbuds and headphones, and then what are those things? Earmuffs. All the words. It's so confusing. Huh? It feels like a Monday. Have you guys ever thought about that though? It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Um, but anyways, let's talk about what brings us here. The last time we were here, I had to switch the live that I had planned about three cold cases because there was an escaped inmate, remember, from Ohio, and there's still no updates on him. Well, as of about an hour ago, I checked, and there was still no updates about him. And today I had the same thing planned. I was going to go over the three cold cases, and wouldn't you know it, but another escaped inmate. Oh my goodness, you guys. And I have his photos and his wanted poster on my community tab. So if you guys want to check there, and you can share it after we're done. I learned about this about 9 p.m. last night, I guess it was. And I shared it with everybody in my Discord as soon as possible because it's really dangerous, you guys. And when I tell you more about this guy, you're going to think it's even more. So I wanted to get the information out to my peeps ASAP. And then I thought, well, maybe, hopefully, he'll be caught in the morning, and I won't feel like I need to do my little part to spread more awareness, but he's not. So I thought, well, I'll switch my cold cases again. I really hate to do that, you guys, but I feel like I really need to get the information out as soon as possible. Hey, Trista, it's good to see you. How are you today? It's almost the weekend, huh? I hope your foot's feeling better today. Bless your heart. Trista's having problems with her foot, and I know how that is. The pain so bad that you can't concentrate hardly. Hey, Jen, it's good to see you. We've missed you too. Yeah, man. It's good to see all you guys. Um, so I thought, I had my other live ready, and but I feel like we really need to talk about this, you guys. And he is the last time it was Ohio, and this time, hey, 71, good to see you. How are you? And there's a few differences that I noticed right away from the last escapee and this escapee, and I'll tell you guys that. Let me get all my notes and everything ready. Um, let's see here. Let me put the link in chat so anybody can come up with me if you want to. And if you don't know anything about this, it's okay because you'll probably have some of the same questions that other people have. Oh, bless your heart. Yeah, that's all we can do sometimes, Trista, is getting through by the grace of God. It absolutely is. Yeah. I'm doing good, 71. I I'm having trouble right now seeing. I use this eye cream on my eyes, for everything, for the wrinkles and all that, and it seems like it's gotten in my eyes somehow. So is preventing wrinkles worth messing up your eyesight? I don't know. It's a toss up. Huh? No, not really, you guys. I'm just joking. It's not. Never. Okay, let me get my there was a few things that I wanted to Remember Violet Days came up here with me last week, you guys, and she did so good. She did really, really good. And she kept saying that why didn't that inmate have leg restraints on? Well, this time this inmate actually did, you guys, and we'll go over that. But first, I want to show you guys the his photo so we can get that out first and foremost. He is, let me see here. He has a bunch of, this is his poster right now. And he was at um, the UNC Hillsborough campus in Hillsborough, North Carolina. And he's 30 years old, and he is 5'11" and 230 pounds. And they said that he does have dreadlocks, but he had them pulled back at that time. But if it was me and people were looking with a fellow with dreadlocks, I would shave my hair or something, you know. So they do have all these pictures of him with different hair. And Candace messaged me and she said, I thought that all those people were loose. She said, I thought that those were all different people. And I said, no, it's the same guy. But when you look, people, hair does make a big difference, change people's looks really quickly and stuff like that. So he might have changed his hair. So keep an eye out for that. But he does have some very remarkable tattoos. He has the word flame across his chest, and they say that it's done in dots. And the A is a star. And then he has the word niece on his right arm. So those were more, you know, you can't change those like you can your hair. So be on the lookout for those. And he was wearing the standard issued he they moved him from Birdie Correctional Institute, and they moved him from there. They were ended up taking him 2 hours away to the UNC Hillsborough, and everybody's asking, well, that's a long way, you know, and they're not saying what his problems were exactly, but they said that he had established care with a doctor at that hospital, so they try to keep them with the same ones. And they said that the UNC does contract, somehow they contract their health care through that. um, and so he was wearing that, which is a gray t-shirt, brown pants, and white New Balance sneakers. And he may also be wearing black prison issued shorts underneath his pants, which we know he's probably not wearing those items now. But if you live in that area, you might want to look. Well, you want to look on your cameras and stuff. And if you see somebody in those clothes, you know, you might be on the right track. Um, and let me see. I do have the tip line. They've established a special tip line, the U.S. Marshals have for this case especially. And I do have it scrolling across the bottom of my screen, and I do have it on my community post as well. But if you see this guy, do not approach him. He is major, major dangerous. If he has nothing to lose, you guys. If he goes back to prison, he has a life sentence. So I'm sure he's going to do everything he absolutely can to stay out of prison because he's going back for life. And what has put him in this situation in the first place was it was back in 2015 and the death of a 1 year old baby, Maleah Williams. Now we can get him off the screen and show her little face, you guys. Look at this sweet baby. And this picture is my favorite picture of her. Yeah. Um, Jen says, Mo, it's scary because the picture on the left, he looks super nice and sweet. I know, right? He does. But those can be the worst ones at times, you know? You never know what people are capable of. And I found some stuff from the trial, and I'll read that to you guys too. Uh, So I figured that we would talk about Maleah, because in the press conferences, the sheriff does say, he said that people are forgetting about Maleah in this situation, and that's absolutely true. And you guys know that the victims are always first and forefront of my brain. That's why I do everything that I do. That's why I try to help everything I can. And like I always tell you guys, we don't have a big channel, or, I don't have a big Discord or a big Facebook group and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter as much about that as it matters to me trying all I can. And it only takes one person, you guys. And Kathy Four, I don't know if you guys see her around, but I was talking to her one day and she said, you never know, if you could, we might not change the world, but we might touch the person who touches the person who changes the world. And that's how I like to think about these things. Jen says, I don't know how people can do this kind of stuff to the little ones. I really don't either, Jen. I will never understand it. And it's good that we don't understand it, because it means that we are not like them, right? Yeah. So, it was back in 2015, and it was Christmas Day, and little Maleah was at her godparents' house in a apartment complex called the Trinity. It's called Trinity, and it's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And you guys know I grew up in an apartment complex. I'm not sure if this place was, but where I grew up, it was income based. And it was a bunch of little kids, and we would go outside and play. And well, you guys know, I think most of you guys are my age, and we would go outside and play and ride our bikes and stuff, and not come in until the street lights came on, like everybody says, but it's true. And if you were hungry, you were never hungry, because somebody would always be cooking. And you just never went hungry, because everybody fed everybody, not like these days. But where you're scared of gluten and all that stuff. But anyways, that's what I kind of picture it was like. And all the kids are out there playing. It said that, hey, Music City Mom, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. It's always good to see you. Um, but they said that it was about 10 kids at least all together, and they just gotten their Christmas toys. And you guys know what that's like too. You want to play and you want to show your friends and everything like that. And so they were all out there playing, and all the adults were out there too with them. And it was a whole bunch of adults, so they weren't just out there by themselves. And actually, Maleah's mom was holding her at this time, and a car stopped down by the dumpsters. And we'll learn more about that when I read through to you guys about what I found out about the trial. But then people started shooting, and nobody else was injured but Maleah. And her mama said that she felt it right then when she was trying to run, as soon as she heard the shooting, and little Maleah was struck in the head, you guys. And they took her to the hospital, and it was about 3 days before she passed away. And they did, her mama said that she's seen who the 71 says she had such a light in her eyes full of life. She absolutely did. She absolutely did. And let me show you guys this article that I found about that. Let me see here. And they did find a suspect. Hang on just a second. They did find a suspect right away. And his name was Shaquille Davis. And they caught him on the same day that she passed away. And they end up catching Alston, which is who's on the loose right now, and another guy. But the first guy that they caught, which we're gonna see in this video right here, they ended up dropping the charges on him 2 months later, and he has never been convicted for this crime. I don't know what that's about, but I'll show you guys this. But let me just read this part down here. And the suspects were 22. They were 22 and 20 were the other ones. Okay, Debbie, that's good. That's fine. Thank you for coming anyways. Let's see here. And this guy, the second suspect, he ended up the first guy, Alston, that we're talking about while we're here today, he ended up going through trial and everything, and he got a life sentence. And this guy, Pierre, I guess that he's seen what Alston got, and so he pled down, and he got he at least has to spend 35 years, I think. But let's read down here. It says, Maleah is such a sweet baby. We all love her, said Maleah Scott, who lives in the apartment above where the shooting happened. We've been with her mom since she was pregnant with her. She's got a beautiful smile and beautiful eyes. And then down here, another neighbor says she was such a beautiful baby. You can't have a bad day when Maleah is around. She was everybody's baby. We were here when her mother, Tylena, was pregnant and trying to figure out names. She was so beautiful, and she had everybody's support. Everybody loved her. So 71, you were right. Everybody loved her. Everybody's baby. I can see that too. Everybody holding her and her happy just to be with anybody. And let's see. And right here is told you guys what I was telling you about. And here is where her mama said, and he just started shooting and I started running, Williams said. I felt my body being so warm and my baby was just bleeding so much and gasping for air. And I kept telling her, I love you. Please don't leave me. Erin Leak said she was one of the first to run outside after the shooting and quickly tried to help. I got outside and the first person I saw was Tylena, and she just looked at me and said, take my baby. And she put Maleah in my arms, and she was so limp at first, and she moved and grabbed onto my shirt and held on so tight. And she says, I'm pissed. You put all these children in danger for what? There's no point or explanation or sense for anything that you did. I'm pissed because Maleah was out here. She was the youngest child out here. Maleah's mom said the bullet that went through her daughter's head wasn't meant for the infant, a happy little girl adored by everyone. You rode right by all them kids, she said. You knew there was a chance, so why would you even do that? Now she's up there fighting for her life, and it's killing me. And this was before she passed away, of course. This was the first suspect they arrested, and I'll show you guys that video in a minute, but I think it's important to hear from her mom.
Hill. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tisha Chappelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Daniels. Late tonight, Chapel Hill police charging 2 more men after the 1-year-old little girl dies. Maleah Williams, who was affectionately known as Peanut, died this afternoon, 3 days after getting shot in that drive-by. Angelica Alvarez live now in Orange County with more on tonight's breaking developments. Angelica.
Steve, U.S. Marshals say they arrested one of the suspects in Carborough and say the other suspect actually turned himself in. They're now here at the Orange County Jail facing murder charges. But what is still not clear tonight is what prompted that shooting on Christmas Day near a crowd of children.
I forgot to tell you guys too, this was in Orange County where everything happened at. So even though that he was 2 hours away in Bertie Correctional Institute, that's where he was serving his time, they sent him back to where he was from to have whatever medical that he had going on to get it looked at. So that was a big, big mistake in my opinion. And that's why I think that his escape was totally set up and he has people in this area helping him. It was a big mistake in my opinion, guys. Hey, Brad, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. We got another escaped felon on the loose. killed a 1-year-old baby.
This is Ramone Alston being walked in the rain into the Orange County Jail. He and Pierre Moore now join Shaquille Davis behind bars. All of them facing charges in the murder of Maleah Williams, the 1-year-old gunned down on Christmas Day. These arrests come as the community here on Trinity Court has been praying for Maleah's recovery, only to find out she lost that fight today.
And whoever did it ought to be shaming themselves, killing a child like that. I was praying for her. She's in a better place, but she didn't have to go that way.
Eyewitnesses tell us around 5:45 on Christmas Day, about 10 children with several adults were outside playing with their new toys when a car drove through the parking lot, stopped at these dumpsters, and someone inside opened fire. One of those bullets pierced Maleah in the head.
She up there fighting for her life. It is killing me.
We spoke to Maleah's mom, Tylena Williams, outside of UNC Children's.
That is her mama, Tylena, you guys. I think I might have the volume booster on because it's kind of loud. No? Actually, I don't. Yeah, that's her mama.
Children's Hospital on Sunday as she prayed for her little girl to recover, something everyone was hoping for. In this memorial to that little girl, you see an open Bible and messages that read, "Get well." Instead, this little girl is now gone and 3 people are under arrest. And the 2 arrested here tonight are being held on $1 million bonds. Davis is also still being held here tonight. Again, still no word on what started that shooting, but we know that all of this ended with the life of that baby lost. Live in Orange.
I do know what started that shooting, and I'll tell you guys about it in just a second. But I still don't understand why what's playing here? I still don't understand why the first person that was arrested, why his charges were dropped. It says in the paperwork that it was dropped so they could investigate more why he was held on for some other charges. But I don't know if they just couldn't. 71 says, Mo, you are almost up to 500. I know. Thank you. I'm really excited about that, you guys, because I work really hard, and each new subscriber that I have is another set of eyes that can help us with these cases and things like that. And you guys, I'll tell you guys what I got in mind in a few minutes. But yeah. This was the first person they arrested.
2 breaking stories are first tonight. We begin with breaking developments and arrest in the Christmas shooting of a 1-year-old child in Chapel Hill. Eyewitness News, the first station to break this with an alert on the ABC 11 mobile app. Chapel Hill police say the suspect is 22-year-old Shaquille Davis. He is now in the Orange County Jail, charged with attempted first-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon. U.S. Marshals arresting Davis on Century Oaks Road in Durham. Also breaking, this video just in of Davis making an apology.
Now, you guys listen to this. Listen to what he says. And I'm still upset about this. My meter is just going off that just something wasn't right. And when I read the papers in a little bit, we'll see what you guys think.
To the family.
Lena, I apologize. I love you. I love you, Shaquille Williams. I apologize what happened. I know I didn't do anything to your daughter. I never would do such a thing like that. I promise you guys, y'all will get to the bottom of it. I promise you guys. I promise you.
In minutes, Maleah Williams' mother shares how the girl is doing, plus her message for that suspect.
Look at that. What a treasure behind you.
Yeah, and so I still don't know. I'm going to have to see what I can look into about that Shaquille Davis. Like I said, guys, I've only known about this since right before I went to bed last night and just since this morning. And Case was going to come and help me today, but she isn't feeling well, so let's remember her in our thoughts and prayers too. You got that right, Heather Brat. Oh, and what 71, what I would be excited about too is the special emojis, and also that I'm getting stuff together for our first members giveaway too. And I already have I've already got a clip. I sure will, 71. Thank you. Aaron made this clip for me, and I have to show you guys.
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but I'm proud of you, and I'm glad that you're my friend.
Isn't that the cutest, guys? So I can play that. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to play that for us anyway. I think that's adorable. um, okay, so let's see. Now I wanted to read to you guys about what I found about Maleah's trial. Let's see here. Let me come back and get you guys. I've got you guys popped out so I can still read and see you guys. Well, thanks, 71. That means a whole lot. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we have to support each other. We're hot girls. Mrs. Arnold taught me that. We support each other. We're hot girls. Everybody can win. Yeah, man. Okay, this is when his trial started. Alston's trial started. And it says, let me see what I can read to you guys. The assistant district attorney in the beginning, he said, tragic case of a cycle of violence that didn't end until it took the life of the most innocent person imaginable. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? I love you back, big Heather Brat. Yes, we do. Okay. Okay, so remember she was shot on, it was Christmas of 2015, and it said that the cycle of violence started back in June 2014 when Neiman said that Alston's home was broken into 3 times that month, with the suspects allegedly holding Alston, his girlfriend, their child, and Alston's mother at gunpoint. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, when we get monetized, we're gonna have to watch our language a little bit too, so they don't. But right now, I'm not gonna worry about it. But when I looked back and found his Facebook, it had a picture. He was showing pictures of his baby that looked the same age as Maleah, and that really hit me hard too. It says, on the day of the shooting, a fight broke out between 2 individuals identified as Shaquille Davis, so that guy that we just saw apologizing, and Jalen McNair at Trinity Court Apartments. That ended with McNair allegedly taking money and, you know, from Davis. At that point, Davis told McNair, I'm getting you back. So Davis, the guy that we just saw apologizing, somebody stole his money and, his smoke, and he said, I'm getting you back. Hey, Aries, good to see you, dude. Thank you for coming. So he says, I'm getting you back. Davis then allegedly met Alston and Moore, the guy who got 35 years, at an apartment complex. There, according to prosecutors, a plan was hatched to go back to Trinity Court and get McNair. Neiman said that Alston also believed that McNair was one of the individuals who had broken into his home the previous year. So that's what all of this started over, was this. They were hate bonding, basically. This Davis guy and Alston were hate bonding because they thought that they had the same enemy, because Davis was just robbed, and he thought that the same guy, this McNair guy, Alston thought that he was the same one who broke into his apartment those 3 times. So they were going to go get this guy back, And it says several hours after the fight on Christmas Day, a vehicle allegedly being driven by Alston, so he was the driver, drove down the small road in front of Trinity Court where approximately 20 people, 8 of whom were children, were outside. The vehicle then stopped when nearing the exit of the apartment complex. The passenger got out of the vehicle and fired shots into the crowd. One of those bullets went through little Maleah. And it says the state alleges that in addition to the passenger alleged to be more, the evidence will show that Alston got out of the vehicle, discharged a firearm, and then sped away. Neiman said that one of the weapons stolen during a break-in near Piney Mountain Road in September 2015 ended up being in the possession of Alston and Moore. So then his defense attorney tries to blame it on the other guy, the guy that ended up getting the 35 years or whatever. And hey, Nature Rocks, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Vanessa, will you drop your channel too? You guys, Vanessa's got some more beautiful pictures on her community tab and some more videos too. You guys have to check it out, please. Before I forget. So basically Alston was blaming it on the other guy more, but they ended up saying, well, they think that there was 2 different firearms discharged that day. Let's see. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to show you guys on that page. The chapelborough.com, they have a really good, they have something called Maleah Williams Archives, and that's where I found all this stuff. It was a great resource. Now I wanted to show you guys where he was, where they found him guilty. There might be something else that we can see on that page. Let me see here. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. The one thing that the prosecutor said also was, he said absolute indifference colliding with absolute innocence. How, just that sentence right there, how moving and powerful is that sentence? Absolute indifference colliding with absolute innocence. If that doesn't say it all, I don't know what does. Oh man. Oh my gosh, guys, I've lost you guys. No, I got you back. Okay, I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Okay, so he ended up getting a life sentence. And so that brings us up. So that was 2018 he was convicted. And let me see here. So that brings us up from 2018 until a few days ago on the 13th. And I kept thinking that the 13th was a Monday. That's why I got all confused when I was trying to figure everything out. But the 13th was on a Tuesday. And now I'm going to show you guys a timeline of everything that happened on that day. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. I'll wait until these ads get done for a second, and then I'll show you guys down here. What I wanted to show you guys was let me wait until this countdown gets done because I don't want it to start and scare everybody. Geez, 30 minutes. 30 seconds. It feels like 30 minutes though, doesn't it? Okay, okay. At first, they were a total of 335 people from 19 different agencies, and they searched all around the hospital. And they did that Tuesday up until last night, and the Department of Adult Correction took over, and the U.S. Marshals. Let me see, but what I wanted to show you guys was down here the timeline. So at 3:56 a.m., Alston was transported from Blue Housing at Birdie Correctional Institute to intake. And then at 4:07, he was secured and placed in transport vehicle, which subsequently departed for UNC Hospital's Hillsborough campus. And remember the last time we all were upset because they didn't have leg restraints on him. Well, this time they did actually have leg restraints on him that went to a belly chain, which went to the handcuffs and a black box. So he was connected to all this. And by 6:50, it arrived at the healthcare facility, and they were given instructions for getting him to his appointment. At 6:59, they drove to the back of the building. Deputies prepared to open the door and escort Alston to his appointment. And at 7 o'clock, right on the dot, he bursts out of the vehicle and takes off running. So somehow, on this way, he got out of his leg restraints somehow, you guys. How in the world? How in the absolute world was he able to do that? And remember the last time also that they did end up, the officers in that aspect, they did end up getting in trouble 2 months later. But right now they're saying, from what they can figure out, that these officers did everything right. So we'll have to see, but they are still working at this point. They weren't suspended or anything. And then at 7:01, the command notified of the escape. And I think I read that at 7:29 a.m., people around the area got alerts on their phone about this. And then 15 minutes later, the sheriff in this county issued something on their Facebook page. So that was Tuesday. And let's see here. Let's watch this video, and then we'll watch this other video down here.
There are a lot of rising questions tonight, and accountability is one thing I spoke specifically to Donnie Harrison about today. We know this investigation moving into a new phase as that ground search portion of the manhunt is over, and the Department of Corrections takes over the investigation.
Yep, so I had to tell you guys last night, the ground search, they're done doing the ground search. So now they're doing the investigative side of it. And the Department of Adult Corrections has taken over. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, you guys. I'm going to have to look into that a bit more. But it seemed, remember last time, and the U.S. Marshals are issuing this award. So it seems like, I'm not sure, but everybody needs to be on guard is what I'm saying.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind, how did he get away so quickly?
That question on the minds of many after this man, Ramone Alston, convicted of killing a 1-year-old little girl, escaped custody early Tuesday morning. While in transport to a doctor's appointment in Hillsborough, officials believe he somehow removed his leg restraints before officers opened the transport vehicle's door at UNC Hospital.
As they were removing Mr. Alston from the vehicle, he broke away from the officers. And
they said they think he somehow removed his leg restraints. Like, bro, like he obviously did. And people were asking the sheriff, Blackwood, if they thought that he had any help from the inside, like other officers. And he was adamant, like, absolutely not, no help. But they do think that he has help out in the community, and all of his friends and family are there. And they said that the help from his family has been limited. I think they used some kind of word, and that's not exactly what they said, but that's what my brain interpreted it as, is like it's limited, like some people might be helping a little bit, is basically what I took. Yeah.
In the parking lot and ran to the woods.
Those officers chased after him, but he has not been seen since. 50-year law enforcement veteran and former Wake County Sheriff Donnie Harrison immediately felt Alston had some help in his escape, later learning the convicted killer is from Orange County and still has many ties to the area.
I bet money on it, that it was a setup. But I can assure you this, all the law enforcement people has got their eyes and ears open looking for him.
The Department of Adult Corrections telling Eyewitness News the 2 officers who were in charge of guarding him during the escape are still on the job, and there are no indications they did anything wrong.
I don't know these officers, but I can assure you, looking back, they're probably saying, I should have done this or I should have done.
I have to tell you, Heather, when I was, just even recently, when I would do something kind of iffy, my dad says, "What am I going to do with you?" And then, like parents do, and then he'll say, just keep you and love you, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do, Brat, keep you and love you. Debbie says, that's crazy. I hope he's found quickly. Me too. I hope it don't go on months like this, Bagley, and kidnap the same person twice. I'm still upset about that too, you guys. So that's why I knew I had to speak on this one too.
That. And, but if it was planned and he had some help somewhere along the line, there wasn't a whole lot they could do about that if they couldn't catch him.
That man had a plan, and there was nothing that they could do to know it.
But for now, this manhunt continues. Sheriff Blackwood warning the community about the risk Alston poses.
He's extremely cagey, he's extremely dangerous, and he has nothing to lose.
And as for the folks who may have helped Alston in his escape,
we know you and we're coming for you.
He said he was cagey. Those words that he said at the end, he said that he knew this ever since he was young, that because he went to school with his dad. And he said he's actually known him since he was born. And so he knows him pretty well. Yeah.
Now, the Orange County Sheriff's Office says that they've got 2 strong leads, calling them 2 rock-solid leads that they are chasing down tonight as this investigation continues, now that the Department of Corrections is taking over. And we also know that both Harrison and Blackwood really reiterated strongly today how important it is, if you see anything, you know anything, you give that tip line a call. That $35,000 reward also still on the table as Alston remains on the run tonight.
Guys, I can't remember if we watched. I don't even think that they even had press conferences for Bagley. I can't, guys. I look through and look at so much. It's hard. But this sheriff's office, they seem to be doing it way differently, because they gave an update that morning. They did a press conference on Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, and then they did one. They did 2 yesterday too, I think. And I thought that that we would watch just the very last one, and then I'll let you guys go. Let me see here. And I'll share it with you guys so that you can look at it on your own time if you want to. I'll be back just 1 second. Okay. So this was the most recent one that I could find.
They're used to wearing these things, no tricks that they can do to make them work for them, and we probably think that's what occurred here.
I had a question specifically for you, Keith, as it relates to the Department of Adult Corrections. I might have missed this yesterday, but the guns that are in the transport vehicle, they're kept in lockboxes, right?
Yeah.
No.
The officers had their weapons on them, and the regulations, procedures at the hospital allow them to carry those into the hospital with them, and they were prepared to do that.
Okay, was there any chance that they had a chance to draw those weapons?
I think from what the sheriff has explained to you, this all happened so quickly there wasn't a chance to do that.
Okay, and then one more question I have is kind of a follow-up. So we had a few people ask, so this guy's in Berkeley County, it's a partnership with UNC Health. I'm pretty sure there's some healthcare facilities on the eastern part of the state. How has the situation prompted the Department of Adult Corrections to review?
He's asking them here about why that they brought him all that way. You guys let me know if the speed's okay or if I need to move it up or whatever. Why they brought him 2 hours from where he is originally supposed to be, you know?
Future transport, to prevent this from happening.
There are a lot of factors we're going to look at in the after action review, and certainly that'll be one factor. A lot of people have asked about, why do we treat in Hillsborough all the way from Bertie County? Part of that, there's 2 reasons for that. One is he had received care here before, and this was a follow-up appointment to see the same providers he had seen before. When he received care the first time, he was not housed in Bertie County, he was housed somewhere else. The second part of that is we have contractual arrangements with different medical hospitals and different medical care providers to provide certain types of care. UNC Hospitals provides for us a wide variety of specialty services, and they happen to do that for us here in Hillsborough.
Thank you.
Through the Department of Corrections, what you were able to review so far, have you found any indication, whether it was phone calls or anything from when he was in custody, connections, conversations with people outside the facility that might have been planning this?
Not yet. Those are all things we're looking at, obviously. Like I said, information has been rather limited. We're looking at all those avenues, exhausting all of those investigative means we have. We don't want to share everything we know at this point for obvious reasons, but we're working on that.
Are there going to be more charges added to him now that he's escaped?
So he's been charged with felony escape, which is a crime where he could be convicted. He would have added to his additional sentence. He already has a life sentence anyway, but this would be something on top of that.
That's what I was going to say. He already has a life sentence. So that doesn't. Well, look at this. It says official gives update on escaped prisoner with triad ties. I don't remember hearing that part. I listened to all these on fast speed this morning, though, because I only had so much time. So you guys help me listen for that part.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if he had a history of trying to escape in the past in custody.
I'm not aware of any other prior escape attempts for him. He does have a long criminal record, but none of those are escape attempts to my knowledge.
Heard about an arrest out of Charlotte, a man in a stolen Charger. Any reason to believe that could be connected to Mr. Alston?
Don't believe that is.
Sure. You mentioned earlier that you said earlier somebody knows out there that this is planned. Do you still believe that after this happened?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Regarding the search of businesses' homes, have you seen any video from any homeowners, Ring camera, any business since the escape yesterday morning?
No, we had someone call us and say that they thought they had captured him on their Ring camera, but it was not him. One other thing I want to go back to, we mentioned the fact that he's being charged with a crime. I want to make one thing very clear to anyone out there that was involved in helping him. The aiding and abetting in the escape of an inmate such as this is Class H felony. And if we can prove that you were involved in this, you're going to be charged. And
don't help him, you guys. Get the reward and turn him in. Look what he's charged with. He's not just charged, he's convicted. We don't even have to say allegedly anymore. We can say he killed this 1-year-old baby. We don't even have to say allegedly anymore. Turn him in.
just want everybody to think about that while that $35,000 is hanging out.
Sheriff, have you had a chance to speak with the family of that 1-year-old little girl who Saturday was killed on Christmas Day? How are they feeling?
So I have not personally had a chance to speak with any of the family members. However, one of the aunts is a very dear friend of my daughter, and they have had communications. And I can tell you that they're reliving this, and they're hurting all over again. And, while that little girl is not with us anymore, and nobody has really paid attention to that fact, a lot of people are focusing on the acts of this criminal, and that's hurtful.
For the Department of Corrections, was there a failure in procedure after what you were able to?
That's what I was telling you guys about. when he said this here, that a lot of people are focusing on the acts of the criminal and not of baby Maleah. So that's why I wanted to share with you guys about her, and I wish that I could have found more about her.
To review from the limited security footage.
Not that we're aware of at this time.
Sheriff, you had a significant number of deputies from 3 agencies at Home Depot this afternoon, this morning. Was there something in that area that brought that many officers there to search the woods and the railroad tracks?
No, Tammy, we had a significant number of deputies across the entire county from a number of agencies. And I'm going to do my best, Tina, you're going to help me. Chatham, Person, Durham, Alamance, Vance, ALE, that's Alcohol Law Enforcement, UNC Hospital Police, Chapel Hill Police was with us yesterday.
JB says, I wonder if they increase that, someone will report where he is. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but money in these situations definitely helps. It absolutely does. Money talks, and especially in these type of situations, from what I've seen, just, from myself, that it absolutely does make a difference. The first case that I spoke on when I did lives by myself, they had a $50,000 reward, and I don't think that that's what led to his arrest, but it absolutely does help.
I'll say that while they were here, of course, Carrboro was covering that. What we have done, did I miss anyone? Hillsborough Police also, I'm sorry, and Highway Patrol. These missions are given out with a degree of Kirby. I'm going to ask you to come and explain the percentages and when our guys go out into the field, they bring back a form, and that form has certain questions which lead us to tell whether or not there's a probability that something might be in that area, and then we take that, feed it into this data.
Oh, they're talking about the research that they've done, and I did want to tell you guys, I do have a screenshot of it somewhere, but I can't find it right now. But there's actually 33 escapees in North Carolina, and the oldest was from 1962, I think. But there is one that escaped in 2000, and he hasn't been found yet either.
Database, and it tells us a map of places we ought to be checking. So the social media experts on Facebook, they're out there telling us where we need to be looking, need to really pay attention to what Kirby's getting ready to share with you.
Yeah, so to answer your question, Tammy, what those deputies doing at Home Depot, that was just a drop-off and pick-off point for their assignments that morning. So they were focusing on the railroad track adjacent to the Home Depot area. 2 different teams, one going north, one going south. As I mentioned this morning, we were focusing our attention on canine tracks that led us north of this sighting, and that was in the vicinity of where those tracks kind of went cold at. So we tasked two different teams to go to those areas to look for what we call article searches. In that aspect, we were looking for any clues that lead us to show that the person was there, whether it be discarded clothing, a piece of handcuffs or chains, a footprint, any evidence that he may have changed his appearance. I know that was a question this morning. So those were the things we were looking for. In any search mission or search operation, we break kind of this really big area, and in this case, could be really the rest of the world, as the sheriff said yesterday, into really bite-sized small chunks that we can easily manage. And so we grouped teams of resources as they're available and prioritized in certain areas. Obviously, we know where he went missing from, so that's our primary starting point, or where he escaped from. And then we have dogs, we have helicopters, we have a variety of resources to help kind of break this really big area into really small chunks and prioritize our resources, where we assign those resources. So we always put resources in areas that are most likely to yield a result. In this case, hopefully a find. But at the very minimum, all of our teams are instructed that beyond just looking for an individual that's fleeing from you, we're looking for clues that are going to lead us to their whereabouts or provide answers to questions.
I'm not sure if it was this press conference or one I watched previously. It's kind of weird to find them, you guys, because they, when the news uploads them, sometimes they upload them 24 hours later than when they really were, and so the dates and stuff are different. But in one of them, my point was that a canine, I know, here we come with the canine handlers again, but in this case it said that they followed tracks north and that they stopped, so they were looking for him north now. But I think that they said that they're not doing ground searches anymore. So maybe they're going to the investigative side now, huh? We've heard that before.
Like how they may have escaped or where they may be headed. So that's in summary how we do every search mission. We use statistical data and analysis from countless of these type of scenarios to give us good intelligence and information. Statistically speaking, about 80% of successful escapees, people who have escaped custody, 80% of those cases they've been located within 18 miles of where they left, where they escaped. So it's a very big area that incorporates most all of Orange County, half of Alamance County, and most of Durham County. That would take us months, if not years, to search 18 miles, look for a needle in a haystack. So we tend to develop two simultaneous operations: extensive ground searches, looking for the individual, looking for clues that lead us to the individual, simultaneously running a very robust investigative function to gather intelligence, gather information.
Debbie says, interesting, thinking he was picked up by someone maybe. That's what I think, especially since he's from this area. And I'm sure he knows tons of people around here. Yeah.
Known accomplices, who they may have talked to. And that's in both escape situation like this and someone who's missing, or just a general search and rescue type of operation. So those.
And he's been in prison since December of 2015, a few days. Maleah's funeral was actually held on New Year's Day of 2016, and he was arrested a few days before that. So he's been in prison this whole time. So 8 years. So he has to have corresponded with somebody on the outside to get him to help, in my opinion, get them to help. So he either did it through letters or by phone calls, or either he has a burner phone. And don't think that they can't get those burner phones in prison. There's tons of them. So hopefully they'll find a clue that way.
Both go hand in hand. The real difference in transition here is we're moving from the less physical out, visible in the wooded areas where someone could be hunkered down and laying low or hiding. We've kind of cleared that area where someone would do that, and we move those resources into that more investigative role. That helps make sense.
I know you said that you believe that this was planned. Any reason to believe that you may have had an ally within law enforcement that helped with this?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. So the folks that we believe and the information that we're receiving right now are pointing us in a couple of different directions. And again, you see us every day. You do not see that room full of intel experts that are working. I had one of the SACs from the FBI call me when this thing jumped off and said,
that is a very good question, 71. And I just looked it up, and Birdie Correctional Institute, and it says one of the state's 4 largest prisons, and it's a men's prison, and it said official capacity is 1,400, all held in close custody. So I don't know what close custody means, and I tried to click on their website, and it says you are not authorized to access this page, so I don't know about that, but it says posting is currently turned off, so they've got something turned off there, and it won't let me through. I'll see what else I can find, though, because that's a very good question.
how much help do you need and what do you need? And I just said, I need what you can send. The room's full. I've got probably 8 or 9 of our deputies, our investigators, who work this type stuff all the time, the technological end of it. working on this, and they have been working nonstop. I'm talking overnight, through the night, to unload all that stuff and to be able to go through it. So again, my staff, the Chief Deputy of Administration, Tina Sykes, Stephen Shaw, Captain over the Patrol Division, and my Chief Deputy of Operations, Kevin Jones, have been keeping all that stuff running, and Alicia's been writing it all down.
I forgot to tell you guys that it did that. It did that on me earlier. So I think that that's basically all that they. Well, he's still talking. Let me see here. Let me go back, guys. I think that that's basically all they were saying. But I found another page. Let's look and see what it says about this. That was a very good question, 71. Let's see here. It says it is comprised of 2 units housing close and medium custody offenders. The close custody is a 1,000 single unit cell. The medium custody is a 504. So still, what does close custody mean? Is that medium custody, medium security, Brad? Yeah. They've got education and work programs here. Well, we know he's probably going to be, if this is, look at the top. It says $50,000 reward for information on Escapee. Let's see what this says. It just took us to here. He escaped, about 7 a.m. That's about all that I told you guys already. I think that that's all that we know, basically, but they did say that they have 2 leads, and they said, the sheriff said he used the words rock solid leads. So hopefully that'll lead to something, you guys. What did you find out, 71? What can you tell us? You learn anything different? Yeah, constantly watched and controlled. Yeah. And remember that, okay, I don't know if we watched it earlier or not, but sometimes they have to, when they're transporting these guys, they have to lock up their pew-pews in a lockbox on the trip to and from. But they said that in this case that they didn't do that, and they had them on them, and that they could take them inside the hospital, so they weren't locked up. So I'm not sure about the if they're allowed to stop these individuals by any means necessary. But if you are allowed to, it seems like you would do it in this case, if none other cases, because he already hurt a 1-year-old baby, not just hurt, but awful, you guys. So he has nothing to lose, like the sheriff said, absolutely nothing to lose. So let's look at his picture one more time before we go, you guys. And I did want to mention again that all of this is on my community post, so please share. If you guys have family or friends in the area, please make sure that they know about this and can protect themselves by, and so here is his pictures again. He does look way different, you guys, way different in all of those pictures. So I would believe that and that when he's got his eyes closed, wonder what that picture was about. 71 says, I had a prison guard friend who told me they aren't allowed weapons in prison as guards. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably not. But transporting might be different. So, and then Let me see what this is. I had this up here too. Freed himself from leg restraints while in van, broke free from officers, escaped in nearby woods. Gray t-shirt, brown pants. Yep, still handcuffed. So he still had his handcuffs on. Let's see. And I wish that I didn't have to show his picture so much to keep his face so we can kind of ingrain it in our brains and stuff, because this is the face that I had rather see. Little Maleah. Look at that baby, you guys. Bless her, bless her. Mm-hmm. I thank you all so much for coming to join me today, and thank you to all my friends who helped me moderate. I really appreciate that, you guys. You don't know how much it means to me that you will come. Our reputation is a lot on these YouTube streets, you guys. Really, it is. And if you guys, support me, it means a whole lot. And Debbie says that just hurts my heart. What a beautiful baby girl. She really, really, really was. I love your guts back too, Aaron. You too, Van. I love all you guys. I really appreciate you. You don't know how much. Hopefully next time that I'll be able to tell you guys about the it's 3 members of the same Atlanta family that it was the brother that was lost his life in 2022, and then her 13-year-old son lost his life a few months later and in 2022, and then just last month in July she lost her life, you guys. So 3 people of the same Atlanta family, and all of them are unsolved. To this day, all of them are unsolved. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that, because the Chanel, who lost her life just last month, she spoke up for her brother and her son, and I just wanted to speak up for her now. You guys feel me? I love all you guys back big time, and I appreciate you so very much. Okay, I'll let you guys go, and keep an eye on my community post, because hopefully I can update it and say that he's caught ASAP and nobody else gets hurt. Please help me pray for that too, you guys. Nobody else gets hurt. Definitely not. See you later, 71. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.